Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about lower sensitivity versus higher sensitivity. But before I get started, I wanted to ask you guys to come to this link. It'll be in the description. If you guys want to become an ultimate student in my Discord server and be featured in a video, in a coaching video, just like the other ones if you guys have seen any of them. And as well, if you guys would please join my Discord server, you can select a rank and a role and put on YouTube notifications, and you can get Valorant guidance there. So without further ado, so there's a few schools as far as like sensitivities go in Valorant. The most common one in higher ranks and in pro play, I would say, not even in pro play, just in higher ranks, because pro play everyone's gonna have their individual sensitivity and it doesn't really matter. But in higher ranks, most people would argue that lower sensitivity is better, with a few exceptions, and I am one of the exceptions, I think. So there's a list of, actually I can open it right now, so hopefully you guys can see this. Yeah, you can. Okay, so there's a list of all pro players. So eDPI is actually DPI times sensitivity. So if we go ahead and click this and we sort by highest to lowest, here you guys can see just how many there are and higher sense. So you see it goes down pretty quickly to about 300, and there are the most pro players with an eDPI of 300 to 200. So you see the vast majority are in 200. So most pros play with an eDPI of 200, which is like, for me, my eDPI is about a little over 300, I think. So I would be considered a little above what most people would consider slow, or like average, I guess. So, but there is no average. So like, this is dependent on your mouse, on your mouse pad size, how big your mouse pad is. It's dependent on how you grip the mouse. If you grip it like this, if you grip it like this. It's dependent on a lot of factors, like also what role you play, what agent you want to play. So if you're a duelist, you might consider having a faster sensitivity. You might consider, because if you're entering, you might have to turn like this and then do a 180 or flick, turn from a flash. Higher sense makes turning from a flash easier. If you're playing a character like Sage then, or not a duelist, then you might not need to turn as much. So you might be perfectly fine with just keeping lower sense for just aiming purposes. And that doesn't mean that higher sensitivity can't have good aim as well. It's just, in general, higher sensitivity has less consistent aim. So like, it would be much more common for higher sensitivity players to like not land flicks like this as consistently, because it's much more smooth and much more concise with lower sensitivity. So for me, I had to find a balance between a high sense and a low sense to sort of get the best of both worlds, because I love to like flick quickly like this, but I also found myself missing a lot of these like shots, like easy kills I would just flick off of or something. If you guys are noticing yourself doing this, it's probably because you have high sensitivity. So how can we fix our sensitivity? Well, I also have a video about that. If you want to find that, I'll probably put that in the description. But if you want to recap real quick, basically all you have to do is start a hard mode, or hard bots, or just do this here and flick to the left or right like this. And if you find yourself overshooting if I'm aiming for this spot is like going like that, or just really overshooting the spot, and then undershooting, it would be like going way too not far enough. And then obviously if you're at a right sense, you should be flicking right on like pretty consistently, and it should feel pretty, you should feel pretty in touch with your aim. So yeah, this is a pretty short video, but this should kind of debunk what sensitivity is sorry about my throat, ideal, and what is considered like out of the ordinary. So yeah, if you guys again want to figure out your eDPI, it's your sensitivity times your DPI, and that'll give you your eDPI, and then you can compare your DPI to these pro players and see where you sort of stand. So for me, I'll go ahead and do it 800 times 0.39, 312. So you see I fall right here, actually right with Sinatraa, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's going to be all, guys. If you guys have any questions, because there's a lot to cover with sensitivity, just leave a comment. But this is a short, quick video. Hopefully it was useful, and remember to like the video.